All right, now let's get to talking about this. I wanted to make this video about BGS, and this is something that I've been wanting to say for quite some time, but I wanted to make a video series on this guy. I've debated this guy for quite some time, but I wanted to actually make a coherent video and a coherent video series about him so that people can actually better understand and interpret his content and what his content actually is. I think a lot of people, especially in Black YouTube, get fooled about BGS Ibmor, or they get fooled about his content, or what his content actually is, or what his content is actually about. And I think that it's important to take everything into perspective. First of all, BGS Ibmor, if you look at his views and you look at the stuff that he says, he's actually he's what I would call a classical Marxist. Okay, his views line up a lot with a lot of Marxism, and there's a lot of Marxist-Leninist leanings in a lot of the stuff that he says, but yet he disguises it by portraying himself. He says he's an amoral pragmatist. Okay, which in reality, there's no such thing, and then the very term in and of itself is a misrepresentation, or I guess you could say an oxymoron or whatever. You know, everyone is going to have some sort of leaning or ideology or value system that dictates their decision making. Okay, and even if you refer to yourself as an amoral pragmatist, you're basically saying that you use a specific moral philosophy that is outside of what most other people would use. So you're basically, it's just a way of trying to throw people off, trying to disguise your intentions and stuff, when in reality you're just a guy that is on here and you don't want to align with any ideology because you're afraid of that ideology, someone attacking that ideology, or that ideology being on the losing side of an argument, and you don't want to take the liability for anything that happens with that ideology. So you just go around, you call yourself an amoral pragmatist. Okay, now another thing is that a lot of the stuff that he espouses, like, he talks a lot about stuff, you know, technology. He'll talk about automation, or how he thinks the future is going to be. One of the things that I've always noticed about this guy is that he will take cultural Marxist principles or classical Marxist principles, and he will disguise them as other things. So he'll say that, well, the family is falling apart, and in the future, the family is going to be this, it's going to be different, or it's not going to be the way that it is right now. When in reality, those are just teachings that Karl Marx taught in his early philosophy of Marxism. One of the things they wanted to get rid of was the family structure, because they felt that the traditional nuclear family structure, they associated that with fascism. Okay, so fascism was always an enemy of communism. So they said, if we can have a society that eliminates this type of nuclear family structure, it'll be easier for us to progress our ideology upon that society. There's an excellent book called The Authoritarian Personality. Okay, you can go check that book out. Okay, that was a really good book which exemplifies that whole principle. Okay, and then a lot of these early Marxists and stuff, a lot of them were Jews. They had Jewish sympathy. A lot of them, Karl Marx himself, I believe was Jewish, or he had some Jewish lineage in his family. Okay, but there was a lot of Jewish influence with a lot of this Marxism and stuff. But that being said, like I said, I just wanted to make this video so that people understand and know what this guy is really about. Okay, because he got you thinking that he's just this friendly, Mr. Rogers character in the neighborhood, and he doesn't have any political ideology, when all this guy does is espouse leftist ideology. He quotes leftist institutions like the World Economic Forum, and he tries to pretend like the World Economic Forum is this objective institution that is only concerned with the future technological advancement of the world economy, and that's not the case at all. The World Economic Forum is a left-wing institution, and I'm going to make a video, a series exposing that. They're nothing more than just a left-leaning institution, or a leftist, that has a leftist view of the world. So they promote all types of socialist policies, and like universal basic income, and they keep on beating the drums of this automated society where no one works, even though, like I said, I've made videos about automation as well. The economy is actually less automated now than it was in the early 2000s, believe it or not. Okay, that's another thing, a bit of information that a lot of people don't take into account. This idea of the march of the robots to eliminate all human workers. Well, what encourages companies to automate is these policies, like, these horrible leftist policies where you're going to raise minimum wage to these crazy levels, spurring inflation, which makes the cost of living higher for everyone, okay, and makes the dollar less valuable. But he doesn't talk about that type of stuff. He's just strictly from this whole socialist mindset of, poor people are poor because rich people are rich, but he doesn't take it much further than that, the mindset. But that's what my channel is here. Is I want to give people a much broader perspective on a lot of these things, especially in a much broader perspective on this guy right here, BGS Ibmor. So go ahead and stay tuned. I'm going to come out with some more videos for you guys today. Let me know what y'all think. Peace.